So lines can look like this, like these, right? This is a vertical line. This is a horizontal line. This is a line with a positive slope. And this is a line with a negative slope. I should basically show it this way. So positive slope increasing on all its domain, negative slope decreasing. This is a vertical line. It does not have a slope. No slope vertical line is undefined. And this is slope 0. Positive slope, 0 slope, negative slope, does not exist slope. Okay, so please remember those options. And now I think it's the 24th. I still probably write 2023. Okay. So back to chapter R. I'm going to share my screen. Remember, it's not a monologue. It will never be a monologue. You can always stop and ask questions. So one of the things that is important here is how to calculate compound interest. So first of all, let's talk about the formula for compound interest. Compound interest, A equals P 1 plus R over N raised to NT. I tend to write in uppercase letters, so it's very clear, super clear, but sometimes I have no choice and I have to write lowercase. So this is my N and this is my M. So 3 bubbles for M, 2 bubbles for N. Sorry about that. I don't want to confuse you. So what is all this? So let's suppose we deposit a certain amount of money or borrow a certain amount of money. So let's say we deposit, this is principal. It's the amount of money we deposited into an account. This R is the annual interest rate. Annual interest rate. T is time in years. A is the accumulated value X number of years, T number of years later. So we deposit the principal and we get this, the accumulated value. Value 1E. The accumulated value in T number of years later. Now, what is N? And that is the way we compound interest. We recalculate the interest. How do we recalculate the interest? It's compounded. That's N number of times per year. Times per year. So what can N be? Once, twice, quarterly, which means 4, annually, which is a once, or annually. I didn't mean to put 2 L's in there. What else can it be? Daily, which is 365. Well, actually, sorry. What else? A monthly, daily, quarterly, monthly, daily, and so on and so forth. So this N equals 1, N equals 2, N equals 4 monthly, N equals 12 daily, N equals 365, and whatever else they tell us. Okay? Next, let's go back to any of the problems, like compound interest. So Southside Investments purchases a $100,000 certificate of deposit from Newton Bank. at 2.8%. So what is 100,000? Can anyone give us an idea? What will 100,000 be? What will it represent?
P.
Yes, yes. So in our problem, P is 100,000. Very good. So let's look at 31. And which page is that? 11. Good. What does 2.8% represent? If the colors that I use are not good and not clear, please stop me anytime.
The rate.
Yes, so that is the R, but we can never use 2.8%. We have to change it into a decimal, which is 0.028. We move the decimal point 2 spots to the left, 2 digits. If I have 5%, where is the decimal point? Right here. So I have to move it to the other side, to the left, 2 spots. So that would be 0.05. What if I have 10%? What is the decimal point? Or 10%, 10.3%. So what is 10.3%? So this is 0.103. We move the decimal point 2 digits to the left. So with 2.8, I move the decimal digit 2 units to the left. That's what I did. Once, twice. Perfect. Oh, I don't know if you were able to see this. I'm sorry. So it was 2.8% to move the decimal digit 2 digits to the left. 1, 2. If it's 5%, where is the decimal digit? Right here. I have to move it to the left. 1, 2. If it's 10.3, I move it to the left. 2, 1, 2. So in the formula, R cannot be in percent. It has to be as a decimal number, in the form of a decimal number. Okay, perfect. Back. How much is the investment worth, rounded to the nearest cent, of course, at the end of 1 year? So what does this 1 year represent? Well, it's this T. It's the time in years. So they're giving us T equals 1. Fine, 1 year. Perfect. So let me show you how we calculate this. And this is my page 2. Am I still centered? Shout out if there is something wrong here. So the accumulated value, the formula states that I have to put the principal first, open parentheses, 1 plus R is the interest rate, which has to be 0.028 divided by N. What is N? You can ask, where is N? Right here. Annually, N equals 1. Semi-annually, N equals twice, 2. Quarterly, N equals 4. Daily, N equals 365. Hourly, 365 times 24 hours a day. So I'm going to write these down. So N equals 1, N equals 2, N equals 4, N equals 365, and N equals 365 times 24 hours. Okay, here's what I recommend we do. This is the N. I have to put 1, and then I have to put 2, then I have to put 4, and so on and so forth. I'm going to write X. Why am I writing X and not N? It's because I'm going to put this formula in the graphing calculator, and there is no N in the graphing calculator. Of course, this is nothing else but N. And then the power has to be N times 1. Why 1? Because T equals 1, 1 year. So this should be just N. But I don't want to put N because I don't have N in the graphing calculator. So I'll put X because it's 1X, and this is X. In other words, it's the N in both situations. I'm going to put the formula in as is in the graphing calculator, and I'm going to automatically enter these numbers and get all of them at once. I don't want to repeat the calculation. I don't want to put this 5 times in the graphing calculator. I will put the formula in, and here's how I do it. So in y equals, up here in y equals. So if you'd like, Alex, and I don't remember, let me see who else. If you'd like to just turn off your cameras for 1 minute, I'd like to record this and post it when we finish. I mean, I can take you out of the picture like this or like this, so you are out. Because I don't. Okay, good. So I'm going to record this. So in y equals, click on y equals. So if we start from scratch, we go to y equals, and we will enter the formula as is, as you see it here, 100,000, left parenthesis, 1 plus, 0.028 divided by x. Here's x right here next to alpha. Don't forget to close the parenthesis. Don't forget to put the caret. I'm old-fashioned. I like my parentheses. Some calculators do not need them in certain situations anymore, but I like them. And then I go to second and table, and I enter these numbers at once. I mean, one by one, of course. 1, and then 2, and then 4, and then 365, and then 365 by times 24. The calculator can do that. So it's 8760. So this is 8760. And now I have all the answers to the right. Make sure that you highlight, go back up, because you see a rounded number. You do not see the whole thing. So I will say that A of 1 is 102,800. Scroll back down, next one. The next one is A of 2. So this is 102,809.6. The next one, A of 4, that is 102,829.54. Remember, we are rounding up because the next digit, the third digit is 7. The thousandth digit is 7. The hundredth is 3, so 0.54. Then the next one. So this is A of 365. So this is 102,839.46. It's 45, but the next one is 8. And the last one, A of 8,760. What will that be? 102,839.56. Okay, let me stop recording. Okay, any questions on this procedure? It is a waste of time to repeat the process 5 times. You enter this function in the graphing calculator, and then quickly go to second and table, and you enter your answer, your x values, in other words, n values. So I just wanted to point out one more thing. Make sure that when you go to table and table set, second and table set, your table looks like this. It doesn't matter what you have as the start. It doesn't matter what you have as the increment. These do not matter. But what you need to make sure is that the independent variable is in the ask mode and the dependent variable is in the auto mode. Otherwise, you will not be able to enter the numbers you want for x. So please keep that in mind. Okay, any questions on this problem?
Can you say that one more time? Sorry.
Yes, which part?
You were saying be sure to make like your calculator settings are.
Yes, see if you go to second and table set, you have to make sure that you have the independent variable in the ask mode. It's very simple how you do it. You just highlight, go back, highlight the ask and press enter. So these have to be highlighted. The ask mode for the independent and the auto mode for the dependent. So you can enter whatever you want. Otherwise, the calculator, if you're not in that situation, if you're not in that setting, it will not allow me to enter anything. It doesn't allow me to enter the numbers I want. It gives me the numbers the calculator wants. It calculates the same thing, but it does not allow me to enter what I want to enter. And you press enter. Anything else? Okay. So I stop recording. If you feel like turning on your cameras, it's fine too. Good. I would like to also discuss how to enter something like this in the graphing calculator and just look at one question. This is another formula. It's the annuity formula. You can save that in the graphing calculator, and if you need to borrow money for anything, for a car, for a mortgage, that's how you calculate it. So let's take a look at, let's say, 35. Fermat's last bank makes a car loan of $18,000. So this is 35. And page 12. Did you have other questions for me? I don't want to continue if you had other questions for me. Okay, so the loan is for $18,000. And the interest rate is 4.6%. I just want to copy and 3 years. Okay, what is the monthly payment? And let's take a look at the formula. Determining monthly loan payments. If P dollars are borrowed, which we already know, that's our P, the principal, or the amount of money we borrow, at an annual interest rate R, we already know that, so this is R. I'm changing it into 0.046. Expressed as a decimal, of course. The payment M, this is the payment M, made each month for a total of N months. So N is in month, which means we have to change the number of years into 3 times 12, which is 36 months. Because the formula is given to us with N in months. I'm going to copy the formula. So M equals P. Very cumbersome formula to work with, especially to put in the graphing calculator. R divided by 12, 1 plus R divided by 12 raised to power N. N in the denominator, 1 plus R divided by 12, power N minus 1. Here it is. So let me